welcome back from that short break. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television. And your channel of choice are still with me in the studio, Anuoluwapo, Idowu, with whom we'll be making sense of Trend Watch this morning. There's a trending story that we'll be talking about. Anu, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Of course, we'll talk about the trend. It's quite trendy. If you see, we're still looking for independence. Nigeria only changed colonial masters, and that's coming from Sowore. Some would say, not again. Others would say, oh, it's a cliche. But any which way.
You see, the truth is Sowore has made himself available for any forms of back and forth, especially when it affects political office holders and most definitely the federal government. Now, he definitely knows what he's talking about here. He's definitely speaking in parables. Most likely he's saying, look, the government is still not different from what, it used to be, and there has to be change. But I'm not speaking on his behalf, actually. I'm just trying to think the way he was thinking when he actually said this. But of course, sometimes when you expect so much and you are saying so little, sometimes you want to say some things. Probably he hasn't seen what he expects Nigeria to be. Nigeria still has a lot to offer than what it currently does, and maybe that's why he's saying this. But I think it was just a little bit too over-expressive when he said, we just changed colonial masters. I mean, the whites are no longer here. Nigerians are, ruling over Nigerians. So automatically, I don't think colonial masters are still involved.
Absolutely. I think I will pitch my tents where you pitch yours too. Maybe just a slight, not so much of a difference, but yes, I was going to say, like you also mentioned, there's a connotation to this. It's not something you can just denote that, okay, right, this was what he said and this is what it means. There's a connotation that is not on the surface. There's this conversation behind the conversation. So, I mean, of course, it's also in the thick of things as to politics, the Nigerian state and all that. So it must have, like you said, it must have had his claims, it must have had his facts and his, provings, as it were, to say, okay, I'm saying this because I know this. And that might not be open, that might not be obvious, that might not be conspicuous to everybody. But again, we have to also talk about the fact that when you mentioned colonialism, when it was saying that we changed colonial masters, so the question again that is calling my attention is, okay, so who are the colonial masters?
Who are the colonial masters?
Because if you say colonial masters, maybe it doesn't have to be a white person, it doesn't have to be the British. Okay, now it's getting clearer. Because maybe the world powers, of course, especially the ones we've been getting something from recently. I mean, I want to mention China because, of course, we are even taking their language in this sense.
Of course.
Maybe it's also trying to get those nuances.
Maybe soon we'll have to adopt one Russian language in our schools too.
Exactly.
And, maybe later we'll take Korean or maybe Japanese, and then we'll start. So he's more or less, these are things he actually put together. I want to believe that's why he's saying that. But let's take comment and see what exactly people are saying.
Very well.
And that's Akidi Ama says that since 1960, everyone who has ruled Nigeria are all Nigerians. Sowore is a clown. I mean, that's someone coming there. The Big says no lies detected here. Well, some people will agree with you and some will not. Brother AG says, from all indications, the post-independence homegrown colonial masters, aka past and serving political office holders, political appointees and politicians are far worse in mindset and mentality than the British colonial masters prior to 1st of October 1960. Well, that's his opinion anyway. You can take that.
Samuel Liojo, AFNI, says, we changed from unintegrated colonialism to integrated colonialism, therefore struggling with independence within government and beyond imperialists. I'll take Jasper Aniet Louis, also saying the Nigerian independence is like Aki and Popo. We are only growing in age, but not in height.
Wow.
Is this a shade?
Well, that's a direct shade anyway. Apple's joke says, this one, okay, let's move from there. He says, who will help us dash these? Oh, we are not taking that too. That's also Jasper Anye says, Nigerian independence is like Aki and Popo. Yeah, we took that earlier. Sometimes people will agree with you on some things, especially when you align with their school of thought, and sometimes they won't. So everyone has an opinion, everyone has a reason to say things they are saying. But
and most opinions are not consensus reality. They are not like general consensus. Absolutely. Everybody would not come to say, okay, this is what we all believe in. But of course, every man for his opinion or in his opinion, whatever way you put it.
As much as some people don't want to agree with Sowore on some things, sometimes he comes out and says things that, you know, really resonates with some Nigerians, and sometimes it's just a way of, you know, the bar. So it's, we still need people to actually speak up on some issues. But then that doesn't mean that the government should be ridiculed or the presidency should be ridiculed in one way or the other, because the way you address your president, the way you address your nation is the way it will be seen out there, especially this era where social media is the order of the day. Whatever it is you post now can be seen anywhere around the world. So
yes,
you have to give your country that outlook out there, that people will see your country and then, you know, really want to be a part of what's there. Imagine someone talking about the state of economy in Nigeria and then just push Nigeria under the carpet, you know, rubbish the country. How do you intend to bring investors in the country when they are saying all this on social media? So I want to believe that Nigerians also have a lot to do in polishing the country Nigeria and make it look great out there. And, you know, sometimes there's a popular Yoruba saying that says, whatever it is that is happening should be within Nigeria. So we should not wash our dirty linens out there. As much as we want to criticize the government, there's still a limit to some things that we can actually push out there.
Absolutely.
We simply have to go today. Thank you for being a part of the show so far. It has been a wonderful session right here. And this is the convenient point where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. Join us again tomorrow on Daybreak Live Extra. There's an extra there because there's an extra. So join us again tomorrow. Samson Balogun is my name. I do say champions are not made in the stadium. They are made of something deep inside of them. There's still one more day before the week runs out. Definitely, you can still achieve greatness. Bye for now.
And of course, my name is Anuoluwapo. Thank you very much for joining us. There's no limit to you except the one you give to yourself. Bye for now.